Hello, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Very happy to have you here, and we're going to continue these today's trends and tomorrow's talk. And you know, men, like I'm about to tell you about, are phenomenal people. First off, when you have a name like Anton Newton-Boom,
oh, I love it.
You're destined for greatness,
Can you
right?
imagine marrying him? Mrs. Newton-Boom.
Are you from the Dutch Newton-Brooms? Yeah, actually, I am. He is actually, he's a 37-year-old Dutch Army vet. Let me tell you about Anton. He wanted to raise awareness for men's mental health. Okay. So he said, he's actually won some Guinness World Records. He said, I'm going to walk from LA to New York, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
But he's going to do it barefoot.
Oh.
And he did it. And so one of the things, it's a total of over 3,000 miles.
Oh my.
He had to walk from LA to New York barefoot, was not allowed, if he wanted to get the world's record, not allowed to put Band-Aids on his toes or anything. He had to stay and remain barefoot the entire time.
Oh my goodness.
Raised $92,000 for that. And I'd say that's a man, first off, that says that you can dedicate your life like that. And obviously, being a Dutch Army vet kind of, I guess, taught him some discipline and that sort of thing. That's interesting, right?
I wonder what motivated him to decide to do a walk barefoot from LA to New York.
What do you do? They say there is something about walking barefoot outside, like you connect with the earth. Especially if you have the people.
Grounding is what it is. My wife makes us do it after our walks.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, after we get done, she's like, take your shoes off, and we stand in the grass for a minute, and it's called grounding.
And the energy is supposed to be able to.
See that.
So you kind of wonder maybe that might have something to do with it, but it does evolve around mental health and that grounding.
But then when you step in the fire ant pile, that's when that all kind of comes to an end.
Not good at all.
Not good at all. No, not at all. Gen Z is missing one work day every week because of their health. A recent survey from a life insurance company found that Gen Z employees in the UK lost an average of 54 productive days every year. And when they did clock into work, many admit they were not operating at their peak. So what's driving these sick days? Experts behind the research say it's mental health. Non-productive or missed days of work have cost the British economy more than $178 million. And the U.S. Gen Z employees admit to ditching work for mental health days and take the most sick days compared to their older co-workers.
And it gets, I guess, frustrating, but I almost don't blame it. If we think about the last 4 years, there was a big convergence of moving to working out of the home, which kind of gave you a lot of freedom, and it also gave you, like, as far as work space goes, and everybody's kind of enjoy it. And there is something that when you go into work mentally, you're there, you're in work. At least for me, I feel like I'm I'm in my work mode right now. And it was very difficult for me to get in that work mode when the pandemic first started. So I kind of wonder how that has affected them, because and I say Gen X, we're Gen X, is that we've had to experience that, but they're at that age where they're moving in to the workforce.
I don't know about you, but working from home, it's a total luxury, but I get so distracted. I can't get a darn thing done. Like, I start out and I'm like, okay, I'll have a cup of coffee, and then I'm like, oh, let me watch what's on TV, and then I'm like, then the doorbell rings, and then the dogs need a walk, and I love the idea.
There was also a push over the last few years. I think the generation prior, even if you had PTO or these 6 days, no one would take them. Because they would like, oh, if I take a day off, someone's going to replace me. They wouldn't take all their vacation.
That's a great point.
And then it's gotten to a point where they're like, no, you have to take your vacation. Like, employers started going, you are taking these days off. Like, use them, please.
It's almost like use it or lose it. If you don't take your paid time off.
Well, they stopped allowing you to roll them over or pay you at the end of the year for not using them. So they forced you to take them.
I've left 2 jobs, I think, where I had a bunch. I think I had like 2 weeks. I say bunch, but that's a whole paycheck, that extra paycheck that I got at the end after I left the company.
What do you think of the reaction to the Amazon CEO saying everybody's coming back into the office? We're done with the work at home thing.
I think there is a different mentality, and there's also a group. There's something missing on Zoom meetings. But when you have all the people in the room, going back to energy, maybe we should take our shoes off and stand in the grass and have our meetings. Maybe we can all get that together. But I think there is something to it. I really do feel that there is something. And plus, they have these buildings. They're like, what are we doing with these buildings?
That economy of going to lunch and the neighborhood deli, all important factors. All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.